Okay, I think I might have fixed the audio a little bit. Um, and I also have a little bit of a better idea of what's going on with some things. So, uh, I'm going to again make sure the audio sounds as decent as it did when I tested it just now. Let me do that. I pulled up some articles too because you know what? Screw it if I get pulled off YouTube for this. I'm still not going to make it inevitable that I get pulled off of YouTube, but I am going to make sure. I gotta change the thumbnail again when I get off here, don't I? Cool. So here we are. So basically, from what I understand about the narrative here, there have been several shootings that have gone on over the past like 2 or 3 weeks, most of which happened to be during May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, which, perfect for the other side of that narrative. We have a couple of shootings that were set up very well for the left right game. That's one thing that you gotta know about these news events. Man, they're always set up so that there are two perfect points to bicker about. Let me just check the audio because I think that's what I was supposed to do. That's one thing that okay, we're fine. Gonna pop this out so I don't have to look at this. All right, kind of. Think I can handle it. I think I can handle running a live stream now. Okay. So I think that there were more shootings, but I don't know as much about these shootings. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna kind of focus on the ones that I think are gonna be more, you know. Damn it, Fox News. Why the? Right. So now we have the newest one in Philadelphia, which is supposedly one of three that happened this past weekend. So I've noticed that these shootings are popping up all over the country. Everywhere from Texas to California to Philadelphia to, just they're fucking everywhere. It's unavoidable. It's like you can't go one day without hearing, oh, whoops, there's another shooting. There you go. So I'm gonna just get started reading this. And this is why I've given this stream the title of Controlled Demolition, because I think that it is a very coordinated thing where they are getting everybody to be talking about gun control, gun violence, or whatever. Like, I think, I kind of tell a lot of people these days, more often than I used to. I've been kind of telling people to, well, not ignore it, just like don't put your emotional energy into the things that are going on. And It's getting really hard to do that, I'm sure, when this is being shoved in your face on a constant basis. So supposedly the story with this one is there were just a couple dudes in Philly in a bar shooting at each other. And then you had 3 people dead, and then 12 people were hurt. Now they're saying a few hours later there was one in Chattanooga, a mass shooting outside a bar sent people fleeing. 3 people were killed there too, including one. Oh! You got your 33, right? 33. Can't forget about 33. It's the only number that matters. So, guys, now that I'm sitting here and I'm actually like really reading and reviewing the information like I used to do before I completely gave up on humanity, it's so obvious what's happening here. They know that gun sales went up in 2020, which I think I'm gonna pull up something about that, see if it's still on Google. Gun sales up in 2020. The US bought almost. So, if we're to look at Forbes here, you'll notice that during this lockdown, there was enough people that knew that bought more guns. And they don't want that. They do not want that. They don't want people buying more guns. They don't want people owning guns. They want to be able to get rid of guns. Where I'm at in California, let me see if I can find this. Gun. Yeah, so for those who do not know, I live in California. I'm not near Sacramento, but I just wanted to I just wanted to kind of show you what's going on. There's been a lot of talk of gun buyback programs in the news around here recently, and it's just this is one of the ways that Sacramento was doing it. They were offering gas money for guns, and unfortunately, gas is like $6 a gallon here right now. So I'm gonna read this. When the police department in Sacramento, California, held a gun buyback program on Saturday, they didn't just give residents a no questions asked chance to turn in their unwanted firearms, they also gave out gift cards for gas. Sacramento Police Department said on Facebook that 134 people had dropped off firearms in exchange for $50 gas gift cards. The day's collections included at least one assault weapons, components for privately manufactured ghost guns, and other illegally configured firearms. While the gift cards appear to have been an incentive, with gas prices climbing across the country, officials said they weren't the only motivating factor. Among other reasons, community members most commonly cited a lack of experience and knowledge of firearms, lack of knowledge of the legality of firearms, or an inability to safely store firearms as the main reasons for participating in the exchange, they wrote. Okay, so, man, people are retarded. Like, $50 gas gift card isn't gonna get you shit here. Where I'm at, again, the gas prices are like $6 a gallon, but I've heard in other areas of California they're even higher than that. And I don't get it. I don't get people that are, so willingly, like they're gonna give away their freedom for gas for a day, maybe. It's it's unbelievable. I'm starting to wonder if I even should believe this story at all. And then they put this here just to let you know that gas prices are climbing. Because of course. And then move this a little bit so I don't have to, okay, that's better. And this isn't the only gun buyback program. This gun buyback program, that's not the only one I've seen. Let's see if there was someone somewhere that was possibly considering like a mandatory buyback program. Let me see. There we are. Right here. No, this is an old one. So there's LA County. Newsom wants to have a gun buyback program. They are trying to enact the biggest one. Cause of course, California gotta have the biggest show of what little bitches we are in California. Almost makes me miss New Jersey sometimes. But yeah, so we have this whole thing that's kind of erecting itself around us, where we have people uh, we have all of these mass shootings just happening everywhere all at once. There was 3 over the weekend. There were 4 of them in May that I can think of right now off the top of my head. And it is controlled demolition. They're trying to really, really push this fear on people because they know that during the pandemic, even though a lot of people weren't concerned, there were enough of us that were concerned about government overreach here to where people were buying guns. At 4% higher of a rate than normal. So they had to know. And it makes me a little bit afraid because I'm wondering what they're going to be doing in 2023 that they don't want um they don't want people getting more of these. And then you have Marin County, Santa Clara County, they're saying this was overwhelming interests. I don't know. I'm not sure of the gun ownership percentage here in California, but I don't think 134 firearms is really that big of a deal in a big ass place like Sacramento. And this is one of the things they're doing. They're probably, I could see this happening. I could see where maybe they will keep, raising prices of things and keep keep these cycles of shootings going, and eventually it'll be guns for food, guns for this, guns for that. Whatever it is people can't afford. I'm wondering what they will get people to trade when things really hit the fan with the supply chain issues. They already are, I think. I mean, the gas thing is pretty bad. Anyway, so we know all roads lead back or from California here with all these gun buyback programs. Like they're having them in a lot of different places. There's also the Uvalde, Texas story that I wanted to cover. Let's see. Forrest Anderson. So, okay. Before I get into any articles, this is kind of what I have noticed about the shooting here. It's given me a lot of Sandy Hook vibes, and this is, I think, one of the articles I was looking at. It's not this one. It's not that one. It should be. No, that's another one I gotta go to. So, I'm drawing a blank. So, there was one of the articles when I was looking for the one on, Uvalde. There was someone who was calling it the deadliest school shooting since Sandy Hook. And there are a lot of things that you can't say about Sandy Hook on the internet, but I'm just gonna say that I don't think it's a coincidence that they are comparing Sandy Hook with Uvalde, or however you pronounce that. And then you have the whole racial narrative of the thing where people were saying that, oh, well, the cops didn't stop it because it was mostly Mexican school, or, oh, well, you know, the cops didn't want to do anything. So that's one thing that should really make people skeptical of this story. Like, that it's maybe didn't happen exactly the way that they said it happened. I'm not saying it didn't happen full stop. I'm just saying maybe we're not being told the truth about this at all. Um, Not very much. So, then you have your whole. So, for the Fox side of things, we're gonna go. I have a CNN article and I have a Fox article. Um, so this part is kind of what I wanted to touch on a little bit first. The police officers waited more than an hour inside a school in which a mass shooter was barricaded and were in position that received only sporadic and unreliable radio communications, according to the two officials with knowledge of the investigation and the system. The lack of direct and clear communications complicated the response to the mass shooting that left 19 fourth graders and 2 teachers passed on, said that U.S. official with knowledge of the investigation for over an hour. Law enforcement waited in a hallway, instructed not to rush into the classroom in which the gunman had barricaded himself, while children inside were calling 911 pleading for help. Ultimately, 19 children and 2 teachers were shot to termination on May 24th before federal agents from a border patrol tactical team known as Bortec breached the doors and killed the shooter. So this is one of the things with their narratives. They were talking about how it was racism. Now you got the whole thing with the radio happening, and the whole official story here is just a mess. Plus, you have a lot of people, like news articles and stuff, that are comparing this to Sandy Hook. So that's kind of where we're at with this whole thing. I'm just gonna check and make sure you guys can see the article thing. Okay. I think it's okay. Alright. So, you have this, Uvalde, Texas thing. So you have, so the story here is that, supposedly that happened, and then there was, I think the guy that did it, this one, oh shit, sorry, I have to move that. I think the guy that perpetrated the shooting was also unemployed stuff. Okay, you know what? This is a bad stream. I'm gonna just try coming back a different time with my maybe. Okay. All right, no, I'm not gonna give up on this. Okay. So yeah, this is one of those stories that if you like, the more you look into it, the less sense it makes. And then you have your left wing, right wing narrative. Oh well, it was poor funding, poor communication for the police. And then you have the CNN. Oh, it's racism, and it's these damn guns. They gotta go. So let's read the CNN article. CNN, the lack of clarity surrounding the authorities' responses to the mass shootings at a South Texas elementary school could hinder efforts to prevent such massacres from happening again, a state lawmaker told CNN on Friday. 10 days after a gunman slaughtered 19 students and 2 teachers in their classrooms at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, there are still significant gaps in the information officials have released about law enforcement's response. My point as a policymaker, which is a third function of my job, is to make sure that doesn't happen again, said State Senator Roland Gutierrez, a Democrat who represents Uvalde. How in the world are we going to do anything if we didn't figure out, okay, so wait a minute. Was it 40 minutes or an hour? Which one was it? What happened in those buildings in those 40 minutes? Gutierrez. Oh, despite. Okay. Okay, now I understand. So I guess they waited. Okay. No, so it's still a story I heard. I just was misreading things. You know what though, dude? Dude, this is just. I mean, either way, right? Like this stories that come with these attacks just get more and more ridiculous every time. I feel like the only reason that these things aren't being brought into question more openly is because the days where you could do that without being yeeted off of the entire internet and then probably the planet are gone. I wonder what, like, 2012 Jeff C. or any of these other people that were doing this back then would think of all of these stories. But yeah, let's see. Okay, you know what? I seriously though, I think I am gonna just come back to this later. I feel like I am not able to focus on the things that I'm reading right now to the I can't do this justice right now, and I think I should admit that and maybe um come back to this uh, you know a little later or something. I feel like I'm not my the way that I'm doing this is much less focused than it needs to be because I see it. I see a man. You know what? I'm just gonna say a few more things, dude. Like, you know what, dude? When I'm sure I speak, or a lot of people feel this way, that when when I first started, when I first, you know, found out about Agenda 2030. Uh, when I first like started telling people about that, th- I just I didn't expect. I knew it wasn't gonna be good, but I had this very like nebulous specter of evil and tyranny and fucking Nazi Germany with smartphones and shit in my head, but is just watching it kind of come along with the freaking controlled demolition of gun rights. It's just this is such obvious bullshit, and nobody around me sees it at all. Um, and then having to see like every single day when I walk into work that they're playing the news, and like half of my coworkers are glued to the news on the big TV in the main room, and I don't know how to get them. I don't know how to get people to see. I don't know. I just don't know. Sometimes I just don't have the words to try to tell people what huge farce this is to begin with anyway. And sometimes I feel like I'm just kind of floating around in a matrix. I have a few friends that are awake in real life now that at least understand this to some degree. Like they're awake to some degree or another. But I just watching it watching it happen in front of me like this is really frustrating. Like in a way I was almost glad when I was in like when I was in the shelter that I couldn't, just sit here and read the news. Like when I wasn't really able to stream or record videos or anything, I was just like, I'm gonna give myself an excuse to not look at the news for a little bit. I put myself on a media diet of like, I was not diving into everything quite the way I used to, and now I'm just kind of sitting here, like, on the internet, kind of feeling like I'm screaming into the void, going, do any of you people see this? Do you care? Just like Mary here is saying, it's hard to watch the world fall apart and seeing that nobody sees or cares. Yeah, exactly. And they all and like, I'm in California. I don't know how it is for you over there, M10, but it's terrible. So you got people here that are like, yeah, we need the gun control, but the cops are bad and they're all racist and evil. And sometimes I just wonder when I hear people talking about gun control. This like eh, that's another thing that really just drives me crazy is the same people that are walking around yelling, "Oh, cops, ACAB, ACAB, ACAB," are the same people talking about how we need to disarm regular citizens. If you're complaining about regular if you're complaining about regular citizens having guns and you don't like the cops, you're literally just not thinking this through at all. Like, because if the regular citizens don't have the guns, who has the guns? Only the cops. Yeah, they are lost. I guess that's a good word for it. Just lost. Lost. Um, yeah, you can only give your energy when you have energy to spare. Yeah, I know that. It's just hard because I've been my time here in California, I've been since I've been dealing with everything that I've been dealing with, I have really tried to focus heavily on what I think I need to do. Um, what I think I need to do to help people in my community. But I have felt a little bad that I haven't been around here much, and I still want to be around here more, and I want to try to, figure out like how to actually be active here in a way that helps, which is something I've really thought a lot about in the past few months that, you know, when I've realized that going back to streaming would soon be a possibility. And yeah, you know what? Sometimes I just don't know what to do. I wasn't quite feeling the talking about heavy shit on my first stream. I had a completely different idea before I started. Before it hit me how many freaking mass shootings that they're claiming happened in this country over the span of like 3 weeks. The politicians will be protected by guns, not us. Yeah, yeah. The politicians, the Bill Gateses, the Elon Musks. Although apparently he's the good guy now, because he's coming to save Twitter. He's gonna come save Twitter. He's gonna pull that bird right out of the toilet, apparently. Only, I highly doubt. I betcha. I betcha that they're gonna they're already endearing everybody to brainwire guy, um, technological lobotomy. So now they're like, it's crazy how many people that would look at him like, isn't he the guy a few years ago that just told you guys that he wants to put freaking neural lace in your brain, and now you're a big fan of him because she's like, oh, he's gonna buy Twitter, and people are gonna be able to say things on Twitter that they couldn't say before. I mean, never mind his whole thing about supposedly wanting to wipe out anonymous accounts, and the fact that it's probably not going to go through, so they're going to get people even more mad to try to get them, like, to try to get some other kind of result anyway. So I don't know. It's just kind of, that's another thing that's just shocking to me lately, is how quickly everybody went from, ah, yeah, screw Elon Musk, he wants to put things in our brains, and he's just screwing around trying to go to space and stuff, to, oh, Elon Musk is our savior, he's gonna save free speech. It's just, it is hard to look at the state of things. I don't understand why Canadians are rolling over so easily with Trudeau disarming them. I don't either. I don't either. God damn it, Canada. Like, I thought, you know what, when I was seeing, because I have talked to a lot of Canadians over the past few years with this whole uh thing that that's been going on for the past 2 years. It's kind of still going on, kind of not. Some people are still trying to keep it in the collective consciousness over here in California. How big of a deal is that still in mass in how big of a deal is that still there? Do people care at all? Because like, I don't think a lot of people really care here, no matter how much they try to put the effort into it. Like in this particular area, I can't speak for the rest of California, but I feel like we have our subsection of doomers, and then we have people that just don't care about that. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Canadians, I don't either. Like, but then I kind of just sit here when I see stuff like that, and I really wonder how much of that is real, and how much of it's not, like bots and stuff. 'Cause I think I was talking to you about um how much of the internet is actually bots now. Oh, I was wondering about it in mass. But yeah, Canada. I don't know what to think about Canada. About about really any of that. To be honest with you, like I just I don't get it. I just I straight up don't understand Canadians, dude. The only maybe the only good one was Jeff. Um, but yeah, Canadians. What is the deal with the Trudeau thing with arms? Are they like the dude is he confiscating guns or buying back? I can't remember. We'll roll over. It's just not as bad here as Canada. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm thinking that I'm worried about that too because that's why I think that they're doing the whole controlled demolition thing as opposed to um just one big ass mass shooting to get people to talk about for a few weeks used to um sneak in a bunch of legislation. That's why they're doing the whole um that's why they're doing the whole controlled demolition thing, you know. One here, one here, one here, blow up gun rights in all these different places, and then the other ones around them are like, oh shit, and like they start doing that. Buying back with jail time if you don't surrender, I think. Actually, why don't I look that up? Um, Also, yeah, thanks for the words of encouragement there, Mary, earlier. I think you're right. Well, I'll get there. Okay, let me just go ahead and we're gonna we're gonna look up Canadian gun control because like some part of me thinks that Canada is the what they want to lead the U.S. into. I feel like some things happen in Canada first. I mean, at least it has been that way for a couple of years now, where they, you know. Also, another question for you: didn't Canada start this whole gun thing due to the shootings in the U.S.? Canadian gun ban. Let's see. Yeah, I saw something about a freeze, but I never really got into it. So I guess we're gonna we're gonna see if this will give us a good summary of the situation. Oh, thanks. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced Monday a proposed freeze on handgun ownership that would yes, a freeze, guys. It's just a freeze. I'm sure that they'll let you have your guns back and your ability to own them back. You know, just maybe sometime in never. Um, sometime between never and ever again, right? Um, so let's see. Yeah, it is a response to the fucking shootings in the United States. You gotta be kidding me, Canada. Um, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced Monday a proposed freeze on handgun ownership in Canada that would effectively ban their importation and sale following these recent mass shootings in the United States. This is part of setting, Mary says, this is part of setting the stage for the US. Biden's now going after 9mm, not ARs anymore. And this is where I would invite anybody who is still talking about common sense gun laws in 2022 to listen up, because they're just, I don't know. The whole thing for years and years and years was an assault weapons ban. We need an assault weapons ban. We need to ban them all. And then we've been telling you for years that they've been wanting to ban the everything. They straight up are coming for your guns. They're coming for your guns, full stop. Like I can't even like I didn't want to come on and be this guy. I was hoping one day I was hoping that I would not have to be this guy of they're coming for your guns, man. They're coming for your guns and we're all gonna die. I don't want to be that dude right now, but I totally I kinda have to be that dude now because it's straight up happening right in front of your face. We are going to be sorry. This is a loud street. Sorry, I don't know if you guys heard that in the background. Um, these walls in here are not the thickest. Hopefully, someone doesn't call the FBI on me. Okay, so, um, back to calling people idiots, I guess. Um, so, we've introduced. So, this is another interesting thing. The bill must still be passed by Parliament, with Liberals holding only a minority of seats. Okay. This is another point that I wanted to talk about at some point with just a little bit of a side note. So liberals, right? Um Left wing people. They're they're people that are activists, and that's what they generally bill themselves as. But then you got all these people that, like, liberals in Western countries are always talking about how much they hate the countries that they're from. They hate America, they hate Canada, they hate you, they hate me, they hate white people, they hate straight people, they hate these people and those people, and they all just but then they're, you know, talking about how they need they're trying to fight for change and stuff. I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be calling yourself an activist and claiming that you're just trying to make positive changes when you literally hate the country, you hate the people that you're supposed to be helping. I don't get it. The whole attitude of the people that call themselves various types of activists in this country always does piss me off, but it's like different different thing, I guess. Different subject. Um, okay. We're introducing legislation to implement a national freeze on handgun ownership, Trudeau told a news conference joined by dozens of families and friends and victims of gun violence. That's what they're saying that this is about. Apparently, there's been a rise in gun violence in Canada that they're supposedly basing this off of. What this means is that it'll no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, import handguns anywhere in Canada, he said. In other words, we're capping the market for handguns. Days after Canada's worst mass shooting in rural Nova Scotia in April 2020, the government banned 1,500 types of military grade or assault rifle style handguns or firearms. Whole different can of worms with activists. Yeah, but I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, these liberals, dude, like, they're always talking about how much they hate the countries they're from, and yet they're freaking trying to enact laws in the countries that they're from, and it's just, I don't know, pisses me off. Not that I'm a big fan of conservatives either. I don't like any of these people. But yeah, back to that one. Okay. But Trudeau acknowledged Monday that gun violence continues to rise. The government statistical agency reported last week that firearms-related violent crime account for less than 3% of all violent crime in Canada. Okay, so let me get this straight. Gun violence accounts for less than 3% of your country, which has a right to own guns for their protection. And you think that the best ways to deal do you think the best way to deal with this situation is to just ban guns? Just straight up. Oh, I'm sorry. Freeze guns. We're just not banning them. We're just freezing them like it's gonna be temporary or something. Okay, Clown World Cousins asks, when do these people meet with the families of victims of Mao, Hitler, or Stalin's gun violence? No, you don't understand. It's only gun violence is it's only gun violence if someone that they don't like does it. They like, or I don't know. Maybe they don't like then. I think they will do the exact same. I think they will do, M10 says, I think they will do the exact same thing in the US, but grandfather people who own the firearms in. I hope you follow my thinking. I do follow your thinking, and I agree. Nobody cares about the gun violence done by oppressive regimes. They'll go on and on about cops needlessly shooting people, but they won't talk about what happens. I don't know. I'd like to see. By the way, has anyone who's gotten into these debates with anyone in the past few weeks, have any of those people unironically brought up Australia this year? You think? You think they brought up Australia? You know, because I'll definitely bring up Australia all the time. You know, about, because they're a great example of what happens when people just start crapping on the gun owners. But yeah, so this should tell you right here. In Canada, violent crimes with guns account for less than 3% of violent crimes, and yet they still wanna talk about basically banning ownership. Let's talk about let's call it what it is. Grandfather is a microaggression. People claim it has nothing that has to do with slavery. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're all offending the YouTube people. I mean, this live stream, I'm sure at some point it's gonna be yeeted into the sun off the internet, but let's try not to. Oh yeah, those, Mary. That's exactly what I'm bringing up because I don't think anybody has paid any attention to what's gone on in Australia over the past 2 years would actually bring them up as an argument for gun control, unless you need, unless you're telling people why we don't need gun control and why gun control is a terrible idea. Exactly, Clown World Cousins, that's what I was getting at. Absolutely. The complete lack of human rights that they've been dealing with. Pretty sure they aren't they still locked down? Do any of you guys know? Okay, so let me see. Yeah. Mary, if you don't stop offending the sensibilities of YouTube, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave so I can appease my overlords here in California. I'm in the United States capital of all liberal upset here. So any second now they're going to be coming and banging on my door and asking me why I read the word grandfathered. The liberals do not accept your apology. No, they don't. They will not. They will probably call you a racist, and I'm sure they already think you're homophobic now. So thank you, Mary. Um, let me see if I can find information on how this buyback program actually works. Other than how stupid this whole thing is. Oh, and this is the thing. Gun violence is a really complex problem, but at the end of the day, the math is really quite simple. The fewer the guns in our communities, the safer everyone will be. You know what I was thinking about? Um, you know what I was thinking about recently as I was cutting up some food for dinner last night. I just was sitting here thinking about when knife control is gonna happen. You know, I could already see it now. It's like you don't need knives in your kitchen. You can just buy all your food pre-chopped. You don't need knives. Why do you want a knife to be able to cut your food with, you terrorist? Hope I didn't joke that into existence. Clown World Cousin says, I can't wait until the Supreme Court overturns the 10-round rule in California. Not familiar with that one. I'm gonna look it up. The U.S. California's ban on high-capacity magazines is restored by appeals. So I guess, yeah, knives are assault weapons too. I mean, God, look what I did to those poor potatoes the other night when I was trying to make homemade chips. God, how terrible. Oh yeah, knives are assault weapons too. Look at China. Look at prison. Even if you take knives away, they're gonna find something to kill each other with. I mean, I've even heard stories of people sharpening ramen noodles and using those to kill each other. Okay. The word is that Justice Thomas is going to write an overturn of the NY concealed carry case and then takes the CA mag limit case, which is pending. Duncan versus Benoda. I'm gonna have to make a note of that because when that happens, guys, I think I'm gonna cover it. So I'm gonna have to make a note of that. Canada is 5, I believe. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how many. I don't know how many rounds you're really allowed to have in Canada. So I guess I'm gonna have to. Now you can't even have one. So you think that what do you think here, Clown World Cousins? You think that the people are gonna try to get one of the justices wants to try to get some of our gun rights restored? I mean, I was at least happy when the federal mandates got shot down of things. So, yeah. Okay, so I kind of have a bit of an idea of what that is, so we're gonna just go ahead and remove that. I'm still trying to figure out what the penalty is. Okay. It would also ban long gun magazines capable of holding more than 5 bullets. So yeah, it is 5. Oh yeah, absolutely. This whole gun control bullshit thing. That's a tale as old as time. You know, they've been shoving this in since fucking what? Columbine. Hell, even that whatever that shooting was in the 70s by that girl that just doesn't like Mondays. I'm pretty sure that's when they banned um your ability to carry guns in schools, because apparently you were allowed to do that until the 1970s. I was not around in the 1970s though, so um somebody can weigh in on that at some point in the comments if I have a lot of people that were around in the 70s that watch me. I wish that I could get some actual fucking information on that stuff. I think so. Clown World Cousin says, think Monday may be a big day for pro-life and Second Amendment decision court decisions. Okay. Maybe. I guess we can hope for some good things to happen. You know, I know. Here's another thing I was thinking about recently that kind of has a little bit to do with this. I've noticed a Boomtown Rats has a great song about that. You know what? That song did come up in my head while I was just talking about that, Mary, and yeah. I didn't remember who it was by, but yeah, I do remember that song, and I thought it was quite interesting. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, um, yeah. I hope for some good things to happen there. You know, the Supreme Court does still have a bit of sanity when it comes to like shooting down federal mandates and things sometimes. Um, California is probably just gonna go straight off the deep end with this, just down the cliff. Like living in California is like staring into the abyss sometimes. I don't know why. As much as I am glad I moved here in some ways, but like as much because I am, I definitely need to get out of New Jersey. But I literally, I was challenging myself here, dude. Like, cause there is just so much stupidity. But I also feel like I'm around some people here that are at least somewhat sane. By the way, I ran into someone the other day who said that the whole Gavin Newsom recall didn't go through because Gavin Newsom is Nancy Pelosi's nephew. So I'm kind of wondering how true that is. Same with Massachusetts. Yeah, Massachusetts, that's a blue state, right? I feel like all the fucking blue states. I mean, I know that New Jersey also had a similar thing where I think they tried to recall. No, they didn't try to recall. We didn't try to recall Murphy. We had well, they had. I mean, I don't live there anymore, but it's still my home state. Unfortunately, for better or for worse. But I remember, I think last year or something, they had the elections for governor, and they were trying to get Governor Murphy out, and then Governor Murphy still won, even though at least half of New Jersey that I knew of hated him. And a lot of people on the internet were saying, like, hey, that's not, whole thing was rigged or whatever. He's sus. Who, Newsom? Or your idiot governor? Or who? But yeah, I think they're all pretty sus. Yeah, I could see Massachusetts definitely. If turn, those Thanksgiving must be the worst. Oh, sorry. Um, if true, those Thanksgivings. Don't make me think of Aunt Nancy and nephew Gavin at Thanksgiving. Damn it. Oh my god. That if I did go to hell for some reason, that would be what Satan would have playing in front of me on loop. A video of fucking Gavin Newsom's and Aunt Nancy Pelosi's fucking conversation at Thanksgiving. Man, what do you think those two even talk about on Thanksgiving? Do you think they talk about how, you know what, man, this turkey's great, but it doesn't have enough blood in it, not enough premium blood. You think like you think maybe think maybe Nancy Pelosi asked Gavin if he's gonna get get her a new skin suit for Christmas this year. I mean, I hope he does because her skin suit's looking pretty bad these days. It looks like it's barely hanging on to her. Not that I know of. Not that I actually think that, but you know. Oh boy, Pelosi's husband just got a DUI. Must be fun. Man, maybe he's just running out. Maybe the poor guy just ran out of good options. He must whatever he was drinking must have already had a high blood alcohol level for him, huh? Not enough babies in their turkey. You know, I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to be the one to make that joke. I didn't want to be the one to make that fucking joke, dude. Um, yeah, I think the blood just had a higher alcohol level than intended. He must have got the I would drink too. No, I would yeah, I would definitely drink too. Do you have any like 1,000 proof alcohol that's so like alcoholic it literally just burns through you? Just burns right through you. That's what I would need. They're a bit. I'm not even a drinker, dude. Sometimes I look at the things that I get tagged in on Twitter, especially in the month of June, and I just kind of wanna makes me kind of want to drink. Just drink straight bleach. Not a problem. I will go low for you. That yeah, thanks. That definitely. Somebody gotta go low. I don't know how high the bar is. I just thought maybe you'd have to go check the Mariana Trench. I don't think you can go. I don't think you can go much lower than these freaking New World Order architects are anyway. So like, I mean, try as we might. Now I can't actually find anything about in this article that's actually useful information. I don't know why I would be going anywhere in the media for useful information, but here we are. Now we got other ones. Now we got other ones saying. So now you got like conflicting stories even here. Wave of mass shootings in the U.S. Canada tightens gun laws. Canada's gun control bill is a response to surging crime. Why Canada races on gun policy when America crawls. There shouldn't be fucking gun policy. Um, from what I understand, Mary, um, so from what I understand, it's not right now doing a mandatory buyback. It's just freezing people from buying more. They probably know that people are tired of their fucking crazy ass policies and they don't want to, they don't want people getting like actually having any recourse by the time this whole thing blows up. Cause I think I remember reading one of these one of these freaking simulation sort of things. I'll be I'm gonna step away from the computer for a second. I gotta go turn the light on. It's getting a little bit dusk outside. One of the more annoying, like, minor problems of being a YouTuber with a lot of freaking people that listen to me on the East Coast where I used to live is like, I just realized it's probably late as hell here, or late as hell over there. But anyway, I'm back. What'd you learn other than the horrors of fucking yeah? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But like yeah, right now that I mean, obviously, I don't think any country with gun rights is probably not gonna take it too well right now, given what we've gone through the past 2 years of like them outright banning guns. Right now they're just using words like freeze, you know how they use like 2 weeks to flatten the curve. You're not having to give away your handguns right now. You just can't buy anymore. And they're trying to get people I think here in the United States they're trying to get people to give up their guns willingly and then they're gonna just be like, whoops, can't buy more. Too bad you sold your fucking guns for $50 of gas money that doesn't mean shit if you go to a pump in California. Like that's really I don't know if you were here when I read that article when I was reading about like California fucking gun buyback proposals and trial runs and things. Sacramento was talking about how they received 134 guns and how it was a huge success. I don't know how big fucking Sacramento is really. I've only like driven through there like once I think. I don't know. Have I even been to Sacramento? Um, but yeah, they're talking about how they're making it seem like people just want to give up their guns here. Um, and they are doing that. I think they are gonna get us to a point right now before they outright ban guns because I know they know that I think people are pretty skeptical after all the COVID stuff in a lot of areas of the country, and even I've even a lot of Californians that I've talked to, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, we have some dumb fucking people over here in California. Some people that you'll have conversations with them and you literally want oh yeah, 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 you're right. You're right. Okay, you know what, dude? That makes sense. That makes it that you reminding me of that fact, Mary, makes it make more sense that they would definitely $50 gas to protect yourself from government tyranny. But a Big Mac to change your DNA. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. You know, the most of those buyback programs will take even non-functional guns. Didn't know that, but that's actually a little bit comforting. Oh yeah, that makes sense too because they need to be able to inflate the numbers of like, look at how many people gave away their guns for us. Yeah. So that's probably why they were trying to make a big deal. That's probably why they were trying to make a big deal about how oh we got 134 guns in all of Sacramento. I'd be curious to know how many people actually own guns in Sacramento. Yep, I bet criminals won't be participating. No, they won't, and definitely not government ones. You won't see any government dudes giving away their guns. Big Macs. Yeah, maybe it will. No, I was saying earlier, I think before you showed up, Clown World Cousins, I was saying earlier that I think that this thing, how I was saying with the gas prices and stuff, like when I went on that big rant like earlier on in the stream, I was talking about how eventually they probably will get people used to the idea of giving away their guns and stuff for things like food, because I'm thinking with the supply chain shortages and stuff like that, they're talking about, I mean, they already have guns for gas. So how do we know it's not going to be guns for food, guns for water, guns for heat for a day, or electricity for a day? Who knows? Like, I mean, I don't want to speak that into I don't want to speak that kind of thing in the universe, but I'm just thinking, or I don't know, I wouldn't say speak it into the universe. I just don't want to speak it into, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much I believe in that stuff. I don't know. But what I do know is that, like, I feel like we give a lot of energy to bad things a lot. And I feel like the devil does kind of play on our ability to, like, he kind of plays on putting the worst case scenarios in our heads and getting us to speak of the worst case scenarios and stuff like that. Yeah, so I don't know. Yes, guns for food. Yeah, that I could see that coming because a few years ago I remember thinking like, okay, well, Americans are pretty partial to their guns. How are you gonna get people to give away their guns? But given how we've evolved over the past 5 or 6 years since I was thinking about those possibilities, I could definitely see that. And Americans are very short-sighted people, so they might. Yeah, that's fair. I know they're doing it. I know they're doing it. I just feel like sometimes I remember a while back I watched this True Stream Media video about how even though we know that these are the things that they're doing, it's like we end up kind of in trying to expose the things that they're doing. Sometimes we end up like living that worst case scenario in our head like before it happens. But you know what? Like that video I think was from a few years ago, like before this whole quickening happened, and it is happening quicker and quicker. Like before, like I can't think about this from my 2010s point of view because in the 2010s changes were more incremental. They did just sneak in a law here or there, or, oh, well, we can use this Vegas shooting to get body scanners in more doorways, or we could do this or that, and then they would wait for the backlash and stuff. Now, now they're done waiting, and, so I think sometimes I have to remind myself that this is not something I can look at as wheels from the 2010s. It's something I have to look at and realize that we're in the 2020s right now, and in the 2020s, everything happens differently. Everything happens quickly. They're just, they're done. I don't know about you guys, but I've definitely had some trouble. I feel like I have some trouble sometimes adjusting to 2020 2020's world where everything happens this way. It's not like you can't. We have to use an entirely different playbook as truthers. Yeah. I feel like our only participation is being low vibration with hearing this crap. We take it in stride. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that was kind of one of my points when I was talking about, I think I talked to you recently about maybe trying to change some things up on this channel a little bit for that reason, so that I'm not consistently putting out the low vibration stuff. Like where, we talk about the things that are negative and nasty and ugly and, that kind of stuff, but we also talk about, hey, what can we do about it and stuff. And yeah, I've been I've been feeling like, because I have been kind of out of the loop and kind of well, not out of the loop. I've always kind of paid some attention to what's going on, but like, I feel like because of out of being out of the loop and how much I've changed, how much my circumstances have changed, some of the mistakes that I've made over the past year when it came to doing things correctly, I feel like I need to make sure that what I put out, even more so, I need to make sure that I put out things that are good, even like good, bad, and ugly, and I need to put out a little bit more of the goods. Guacamole Kid says, Matthew 11:28-29. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest in your souls. Thank you, Guacamole Kid. Luke 22:35, 36-37. He said to them, but now, if you have a purse, take it, and also a bag. If you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one. Go buy one. Okay. Amen. As wise as a serpent, but as gentle as a dove. That doesn't mean ignorance or negative. Yeah, that's true. But you know what, dude? I've been seriously one of the reasons that, I've only been out of the shelter for about 2 weeks, but and I've only had internet for about a week. But I've just been thinking about things. A lot of times I've been really trying to get myself into this practice every day, where I not only, like, I need to get back to praying and I need to be closer to God, and you know think I have some amends to make with God for a lot of things, and I just, I've been kind of, like, really, like, the last few months I've been seriously thinking about um what kind of things I really should be doing out there and here in this channel, and like, because I try to do a lot for my community, but is it enough, and is it the right reasons? And like, then here I'm like, am I doing enough, or am I always like, is everything that I've put up on this channel just like low vibration, scary, fear, like anger crap? Like, what if people walk away from me thinking about, and then, I'm just, I don't know. Also, Hi, Phantom. I haven't seen you in a long time. Good to see you, man. How are you? Yeah, I don't know, dude. This stream has been kind of going in a lot of directions. I didn't. This is what happens when I don't have an exact direction that things need to go, and I don't know. Phantom says it's okay to humble ourselves and go to the throne of grace. He loves us. Yeah, you know what, dude? You know what? I'm gonna I'm seriously gonna go when I'm done streaming here. I'm seriously gonna go and pray about that. You're you're right, man. Sometimes I feel like I have sinned or screwed up too much to where I don't even know if like whenever I've done things, I always wonder if it's ever gonna be too much for um that. But you got a point. I guess it's really worth praying for that because I just sometimes I worry that some of the choices, some of the some of the choices that I've had to to make it through the past year and to be able to continue to serve people in the way that I have. Some of the choices don't don't sit entirely right with me, and like I know that if I hadn't made those choices, like some of the choices I had to make to survive the past year, I don't think I'd still be here, but it's really, or I would maybe I would either not be here, like I don't know, I wouldn't be where I am right now, or maybe I wouldn't be here at all, or probably I wouldn't be here at all considering some of the things that were going on. But sometimes I always worry if I'm really, I constantly worry if I'm doing the right thing in the eyes of God. And I always worry about the things that I have to explain. I'm gonna have to explain to God someday. Or I guess there's really no explaining to God, but you know what I mean. This live was great. Not enough people talking about this. Yeah, I've noticed that. I've noticed the app the silence. I've noticed the silence about a lot of the things that matter on, I mean, and it is partially because I think a lot of people are afraid of being yeeted off YouTube. I know I'm probably going to be yeeted off of YouTube too at some point, and I gotta, I really still gotta put all my stuff on my backups, but I just haven't gotten to it. Okay. Um, Phantom says, I'm feeling blessed and highly favored. Trials and ups and downs make things harder than they need to be, but Jesus, man, he gets me through every time. That's true. M10 says, oh, this chat should be, as the kids say, jumpin', although I do think dropping the G isn't proper English. That's okay. God's got a G in his name for all of us, so. Um, I feel like every live, M10 says, I feel like every live I do is shit until I re-listen. Last one before, you'll be surprised by listening back. Spirit led you during a live. That's true. You know, it could be. Wheels, I do believe the silent majority is indeed a thing. Yeah, yeah. That's another thing that I think about a lot. You know, especially because I feel like the understanding of censorship and curing of the internet, or what, curating, that's the word. Curating of the internet is becoming a more and more understood thing. You know, I think last estimate was like well over half of internet traffic now is bots. And of course, we have AI, so we know that AI can write some pretty realistic wording. So you go on sites like Reddit or whatever where they just outright ban people. Like I got banned from a bunch of places because I joined a subreddit for um discussing a lot of the shit that was going on with COVID at that time, and I got banned not only from that a subreddit from where I pointed out that masks are terrible and I have asthma, but I got banned when I joined that other subreddit where there were some like-minded individuals. I got banned from all of the mainstream subreddits at once. And then, so my point in bringing that up is that you have, when you go on these sites, when you go on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, whatever. I mean, I don't go on Facebook, so I don't know how bad it is. If any of you people here have Facebook, you feel free to weigh in on that. But all of it is very heavily curated. A lot of people have been called, like they've been pulled off of all the mainstream sites and stuff. And it's the only opinion that you see when you log into Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever the fuck. The only opinions that you're gonna see are the opinions of the people that are still allowed to be there. If you question, hey man, I don't think controlling guns is a good idea, on Reddit you're gonna get your comment like downvoted and deleted and eventually deleted, and you're probably gonna get reported to the mods and all this stuff. I actually got I actually got completely yeeted off of a of a few Reddits for just telling someone the truth about something. And Twitter's pretty bad too. I know most people. I don't really use Twitter that much, so I have no idea. Like I've surprisingly not been banned, but uh, um, yeah. I don't know. It's just yeah, so I guess my point in this whole like rant is you have to remember that even though the internet is where we get most of our news and most of our information now, but we have to remember that the internet is very, very highly regulated and curated now, and there's no, like, the internet does not represent what people actually think in real life. So, I think Clown World Cousins had a good point with the silent majority thing. Okay. Uh, M10 asks, when are you coming on Clown World Cousins? Wheels, I need my friends there to be real with me. You know what? Last time last time we talked about this, I didn't have internet connection yet, but because I now do have internet and am very obviously capable of streaming, It is up to you. We can still shoot for Thursday, or we can do I can do another Sunday with you guys. I'm not. Friday nights are Clown World Cousins. It is 4 p.m. for you, I think. I don't get off of work until 4:30, but I can I can definitely, if you're willing to like wait maybe an hour to have me on there. I mean, you guys can jump on and then I'll jump on once you get everything warmed up. It can just be you guys while you wait for me to get home from work or whatever. But yeah, we could do Friday if that works for if that is what you want to do. I just I won't go see the craziness of downtown like I normally would. Nah. Okay. Yeah. I would yeah, I seriously do look forward to being on there with you guys. Yeah, if Friday works best for you, all jokes aside, Friday is what it is. I just will not be I probably won't be able to be on there until closer to 5 though. Okay. Yeah, whatever you guys want to do. Uh we can do an 8 p.m. or you can have me come on later, and whichever one you guys are for. I am a guest on your show, so I'm willing to work with whatever the welcoming hosts have in mind. Okay, yeah. So I have a question. I have a question for you guys. Yes, awesome. Our guests don't usually come on till 7:30 or 8 Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, I would probably be closer to 8 Eastern Standard Time because it will be 5 for me. And I work till 4:30 at the lovely place that I work. I actually do like that job. Um, so that works. I will once you got so yeah, definitely reach out to me on Discord so we can make it like official because I need to put that on my calendar because I'm very scatterbrained at this moment and I will forget. Um, yeah, I'm excited too, guys. I've been looking forward because I think M10 and I have been talking about doing a stream together with you, doing a stream with you guys since how long now? Since like since the day you found out I was gonna move or something. All right. So yeah, I actually don't. You know what? I actually don't mind these scatterbrain live streams that go to an entirely different place than I would have expected. Um, sometimes that's good. I actually have a question for you guys. What do you think the mark of the beast is? Like, do you have any idea of that now? I mean, I thought it could be the juice that everybody was getting. I kind of don't think that anymore. Okay, so that was that one that I had. We already talked about this. Talked about that. I told you guys about the Philly thing, I think, too. Apparently this weekend there was, three mass shootings in full weekend. There were three dead in both. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, let me see if I can invite. Let me see. Yeah, definitely. It would definitely be easier speaking in audio. You're right. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, dude. Are you still on Discord? Because I would actually really like to reach out to you about that. Okay. But yeah, so did you guys see? Oh yeah, for sure. Jab was definitely a precursor. Yeah, because like you know, the jab didn't it fits some things, but not all of them. I think it's just getting people used to having certain things to buy or sell. The mask was the first precursor, and then you had the jab, and then I was actually really freaked out about that because so many people got the jab, and yeah, it's just that's been hard. I actually let's see. Clown World Cousin says, I think our human intellects will not be able to figure out what it is, and an attempt to decide what it is a fool's errand to an extent. Devil is far more intelligent than yeah, that's true. Um, yeah. So that's true. I'm just basically I think the best thing I can do is just pray for discernment about that so when it does come up, uh it doesn't I don't think for some reason, oh, I can get this and be fine or whatever when things really hit the fan and I have to choose between having that thing and eating. So I'll definitely be praying for discernment. I've already, I've prayed for a long time about just staying on top of things with God, with knowing what the mark is, and yeah, that that is something to be looking in the Word and praying about, I suppose. Um, so guys, another quick like lighter question for you. I don't know how often I'm gonna be streaming within the coming weeks, but I'm gonna try to at least set a day to get used to doing it on. Um, what days work the best for you guys? Because I know a lot of you guys are on the East Coast, and I know usually like Sundays, Thursdays, those are usually my good days because they're usually the ones that I don't have a bunch of stuff to do at night. I'm just trying to figure out what works for other people that watch these. M10, we need hardcore discernment. We really do. Yeah, that's great. Do you want your mind blown? Pray and learn more about love. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna like cut this stream soon. I'm gonna wrap it up soon. Um, yeah. I'm hoping that like I really can get back into my old kind of groove of things. I probably won't be like doing super regular streams, but I will definitely be trying to jump on more about different things. There's some stuff that I would actually like to cover that's a little bit less like doom and gloom and whatnot, I guess. Oh, oh yeah. So, oh God, that's horrible. So, good to know. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, I always appreciate you just trying to come on here and be like involved in the streams even when I'm struggling to get it together like I was today. You know, you've been like away from streaming a long time when they completely changed the app that you used to use to stream. Yeah, definitely I'm gonna see if I can maybe do one of these next week. Evening, Wheels, it is midnight for me. Wonderful live. Have a great night. You too. Have a good night, guys. I'm about to wrap this up. Uh, please keep me in your prayers as well. Thank you.